All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in to Industry KatViews. This is our episode 5, I believe, and we've had some incredible guests on the show so far. It's all been very exciting, and every time it's something new, which is beautiful. So, guys, today we have yet another very special guest whom I'm going to introduce to you very shortly. But first, welcome to KatViews. All right, let's roll. So as you guys know, every episode I try to pick somebody from different area of the art world. And today we have a very special to me individual that's actually on an incredible journey with her art. She's really the most exquisite, one of the most exquisite abstract artists and high artists that I've seen to date. She's been shown at galleries, at hotel exhibits, at art shows, really all over Ontario and soon to be all over Canada. She's an inspirational artist that draws from the strength within and tries to share and uplift others around her. She believes in a lot of causes. You will hear more about her initiatives with Plastic Ocean and her incredible desire to not only succeed herself, but also bring up other artists that she believes in and that she sees a strong vision for. And so I'm very excited for this episode of KatViews with the beautiful Elena Kulikova. And you see her art in the background there. She is absolutely stunning. Not only is her artwork stunning, but she herself is as well. And you guys will get to see a lot more of her works as we go. You can see there in the background, that's all her beautiful works that have actually all been sold at various gallery exhibits around Ontario, and as I mentioned, soon to be Canada. We're gonna get to know a lot of her art as we go. But in the meantime, I am very excited to bring this incredible, exquisite high artist, live painter, artist, Elena Kulikova. Welcome. You are live.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We can.
Amazing. Hi. It's a pleasure to be here.
Paintings in the background there. How appropriate.
Yes, absolutely. These are some of my creations and collaborations with other artists. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. We're very excited to have you on the show because I think you have a lot to speak of, especially for artists, not just visual artists, but any artists that are looking to showcase their craft, looking to share their craft with the world, looking to inspire and draw inspiration. And I think you have a lot to share with people on that topic. And just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself in a few words, kind of where you come from, what you do, what you're all about, and where your art has taken you.
My pleasure. Of course, you personally know my story, and it's
Can you guys tell the resemblance? We're sisters.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, my darling. And you know, my story, just for those tuning in, is I'm just a girl who had the courage and found the courage to follow her dreams. Okay, and the journey was long. You know, I've always loved painting, creating, drawing things, you know, from school days and high school days and etc. I found myself at the age of 18 in the corporate world, working in the 9-to-5 position, you know, within marketing, and then transitioned into sales, and it was within the world of technology, within audio visual. And so within that said, in my 20s, I climbed the so-called corporate ladder and was very successful at that. I know I love sales. I love working with people and all of that, and worked for some large multinational corporations with massive sales targets and quotas. And, you know, I found myself working 70, 80-hour work weeks where, you know, I was definitely compensated quite generously for that. And but I found my soul and my mental health just suffering as a result in terms of the amount of stress I had to go through, and you know, the multiple millions of dollars in targets and the stresses of that, and also managing teams of people and managing large financial portfolios. So I found that while my success was increasing on the financial side of things, and it looked amazing on from the outside in my life, and a lot of my friends were very proud of me, so as our parents were very proud of me, but I found my soul was really depleting. I was looking for that life source, and sometimes towards the end of it, I would find myself waking up in the morning, hating my life and not really wanting to do anything. So anyhow, long story short, having gone through some personal adversity as well within my relationships and within the work world, I just was looking for something else. And every time that I would find myself in a place where my soul was crying from within, I was doodling. I was creating things in my workbook, in my notebook, in my workbook, and anything, you know, sometimes
On your hand, on your face.
you know, even and so I've taken a course, like it was a meditation through art course during some of the most difficult times in my life, and that has really opened back the floodgates of my creative spirit. And then I started painting more and more. I left the corporate world after having spent 14 years there from a full-time perspective. And I started working with a very powerful group called the Matrix Group. And there I found an amazing mentor who is a multimillionaire, and he's created multimillionaires. Not only, you know, as a person who's very successful on their own, and I've met many of those in my life, but he had that servant leadership mentality and the ability to coach a person one-on-one. You know, he charges over $10,000 an hour to sit down across from some of the top business owners in this world, and collaborates with some of the bigger creators and movers and shakers. I'm talking people like Sir Richard Branson. And so when I've met this gentleman and we sat down and we had a conversation, and I said, you know what, I want what you are offering from a perspective of, he was mentoring on stage people, and his whole mission is to wake up a person's spirit and to really get the point across of, you only have one life, and if you have a dream, you need to go after that dream. And so that really spoke to me, you know, me thinking that, you know, art is just you know, what do people say? Artist is a struggling artist, starving artist, you know? And so this gentleman inspired me to take my first steps towards really believing in myself from a perspective of, I can make my dream a reality. And so for 3 years, I've been working with him, and through a lot of coaching and mentoring when it comes to our mind, because how we think, so do we act. And you know, and my experience within the entrepreneurial journey, and I've, you know, now I'm able to coach other people to also follow their dreams. And I know it's not easy, and you and I know it's not easy, because you've developed an incredibly successful company when it comes to Cool Cat Entertainment, and I'm so proud of you. And it's all coming from the same place, where if you are given a dream, and that dream, if you're given that dream, that means you have the full potential to make it happen. It's just having the courage to do it and get over the adversity, right? Where the adversity being, you'll never make it from other people. The adversity being, you may go broke. The adversity being, you know, it's too difficult to make it in this world of art or dance or whatever, you know? So it's when you tune out those voices and you truly only listen to the voice that's in your heart, you can make it happen. So long story short, that was my big, you know, meeting Mr. Byron Nelson was a huge catalyst in my life, and aligning myself with the Matrix. You know, having said that, when I moved to Niagara Falls 2 years ago, I met a lovely woman by the name of Miss Evelyn, who also became one of my best friends and my art mentor. And her and I were painting together. We just started painting from the basement studio that we were renting. And she's an accomplished artist and and an illustrator herself, and you know, artist in the digital age. And she said, Elena, your work is amazing. So I started painting, and first I was just gifting things. I would be giving people gifts. Here, you can have this painting, you know, and etc. And then, you know, she said, Elena, you could really sell your stuff because people love it. And that's when I started getting into really identifying art, the art that healed me and was a really big, just it was like a big emotional release, right? So that was loved by many people. And so I started saying, okay, well, let me sell this one and this, and let me participate in this charity event, and let me donate my time here. And I've given so many pieces of art for free, and we fundraise thousands and thousands of dollars with with organizations like Sick Kids Hospital, you know, or I've done live book launches. This painting was actually created with Miss Evelyn Bailey and myself at a book launch, and it was just, you know, and over the last 2 years, I've really made art. I've learned the value of an artist as a creative being, and I've learned to value my creative flow, and that, you know, it cannot be recreated. I cannot paint the same painting twice, and I've learned to respect my own investment of energy that I put into every painting and charge accordingly. And because I was able to build those expectations and the boundaries, I was able, you know, I started getting more and more requests and private orders for commissions, you know, and now my art is selling in the thousands of dollars by high-end residential clients, and you know, we have commercial customers and small business clients as well. So that's kind of,
and I think that's
the overview.
Because I mean, people that are watching, and this is going to be one of my questions too, so I'm not going to give it away just yet. In terms of, you know, how do up and coming artists get that courage to actually move into their dream? But that's going to be a next question, so we're going to touch base on that. But I know that a lot of your work, which I'm very, very proud of you for, has been commissioned for different hotels and different venues in the city to be also hung and displayed, and galleries and such. And so I'm just going to take a quick moment to actually showcase to our viewers, because every webinar we do a venue host, and this lovely venue has been great to host us today. We're at the Radisson Admiral Hotel, guys, and let's just take a quick short break for our venue corner. So as I mentioned, yes, we are at the beautiful Radisson Admiral Hotel. I just wanted to profile it to give you guys a chance, because this is one of the most beautiful venues in the city. They have a rooftop pool, which is where actually I am currently sitting, and I'll show you as soon as I get these cute pictures off. They have a lot of cool meeting spaces, photo shoots. They have a restaurant, which is actually exactly where I'm sitting right now. It's just not dressed up. And of course, it is a hotel, so you guys are welcome to enjoy it for your stay in Toronto. But the reason why I picked Radisson Admiral Hotel, and actually I'll just give you a quick sneak preview there. You can see I'm just right in the room, and the pool is right behind me, so it's a stunning, stunning venue. If you guys are in the city, make sure you check it out. But reason why I picked this specific venue to profile for Elena's shoot is because of her big belief in water, and her big association with plastic oceans, and her efforts to make our oceans much cleaner and much better for everybody. Because look at this view. I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying this beautiful water, and if our oceans don't stay clean or get polluted, not much we can enjoy these sort of views anymore. And so it was very strategic in me picking this venue, because it's so stunning and people love it, but they don't sometimes see just how big of a concern it is for polluted oceans. Yeah. And so I think Elena is a big of that, and I know a lot of her artwork and sales of her artwork, proceeds of her sales go towards helping plastic oceans as well. And I know well, actually, again, going to talk about that a little bit later. She has an incredible, incredible art exhibit coming up on August the 17th. It's very, very, very soon. And you guys actually have a chance to win a raffle ticket to win one of her incredible paintings, her and a lot of other artists' paintings as well. These paintings are worth thousands of dollars, guys, and we do have an incredible opportunity for you to win a raffle ticket today instead of purchasing a raffle ticket to win it. So how do you win? Well, as you watch the stream, you guys can ask Elena a question, and if your question gets selected, then you win the raffle ticket. So if you see us selecting your question in the feed, you win. All right, simple as that. So guys, stay tuned, and we're going to talk a little bit more. Now we get into the good stuff of actually asking Elena questions. So Elena, my first question for you. How does an artist demonstrate their ability to evolve, adapt? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? What about right now? Is the connection any better? Hello? I can hear you, okay? Let's try that again. How about now? So how does an artist demonstrate their ability to evolve, adapt, and yet stay true to themselves and their style?
So I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't hear you, but I'm going to read the question. Yeah, I can't hear you ever since you played the video. I'm not sure why. Maybe the system automatically turned off your microphone on my end. I don't know. But okay, so I guess I'm to answer the question. So how does an artist demonstrate their ability to evolve, adapt, and yet stay true to themselves and their style? You know, that's a very good question, because I myself, you know, have an entire community of artists that I admire and I look up to. And then there's up and coming artists that look at my story and then they start looking up to me and following in my footsteps. And so within this really, really diverse community of artists that are either celebrity artists or artists that create things for strictly commercial or large murals or smaller things, and work within different with different mediums, right? So an artist, you know, you could call an artist either a music artist or a dancer, is an artist that creates, you know, or a visual artist. Now, from a perspective of how does a visual artist demonstrate their ability to evolve? And I think you can apply that to others. So, for example, when you so many of those artists I've had conversations with, and they would say, well, Elena, you know, I keep getting commissions from my clients and they want me to have this particular thing created, and, you know, I have to stay within the parameters of whatever that creation was. And it becomes very difficult for me to express myself. And so, you know, what if they don't like it or whatnot? So it's definitely a valid question and a very good one. So in my experience, what I found is I am constantly evolving myself as an artist. I'm constantly evolving. It's very important to learn new skill sets and to just expand. You know, in the finance world, you're going to say diversify your portfolio, but really it's just expand your skill set so that you can create more and be more versatile as an artist. So, for example, I am an abstract painter, but I don't have the sketch in front of me right now. But I was just at a seminar 2 weeks ago, and I created a figurine of an angel, and it was a woman with
Oh, I think we lost you there for a second. Oh, there we go. You're back. You're back.
Yeah, no, I had a phone call come in and interrupt.
Okay.
I should have put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, I'm gonna.
You can hear me now, yeah? The microphone is working.
Now I can hear you. Yeah, okay. Totally. Okay, so as I was saying, it's very important for the artist to adapt, you know, and take new courses, you know, and you'll always stay true to yourself, no matter what style you try, as long as you listen to your heart and you follow the guidance from within when you're creating something.
Yeah.
That signature of who you are will not leave anywhere. It won't go anywhere. Yeah. So So that's what I have to say about that. And you know, I was just having this conversation with when I was interviewing Miss Evelyn Bailey earlier, because she has, you know, she has the skill set to be able to create digital art. Okay, I unfortunately don't have that. I'm a painter. You know, Photoshop is not my friend, but you know, many artists do digital art, and what she's doing is she's creating content to be able to project on buildings, right? And so she has that skill set, and she's saying that in the digital era we need to be able to evolve and adapt to that, right? So that's her way of adapting to it, right? And so my way of adapting to what the client is looking for example, when I did the large paintings that you've shown, you've showcased for one of
the big show,
private. Well, the big show, yeah, the dance show. I've done work for Sick Kids Hospital. I've done work for, you know, for ILEA within the Search Foundation. We've done work, and you know, and many private clients. And so my last, the large paintings that I've done, the 9-foot by 6-foot paintings and the 14-foot by 6-foot, I had to adapt based on, and I use a different technique. I use the palette knife with acrylics, and the client, this is in the Forest Hill area, and he has floor to ceiling windows. They're huge, and there's lots of greenery on the outside. It's a very minimalist style interior, and the artwork would have been the centerpiece. And so it was a little bit of outside of my comfort zone, because I haven't painted with a palette knife before, but I actually I followed my intuition, my inner guidance, and it came out beautiful, you know. Another example is now we're doing a show, and myself included, plus all these other artists, we're creating, we're painting designer, custom designed guitar-shaped purses. Exactly.
I'm just going to pull up the ad just so everybody can see it on the screen. This is, guys, this is coming up on August 17th in St. Catharines, and it's, as Elena mentioned, it's a fashion show blended with an art gallery. So guys, all of the links are going to be below the webinar, so you will be able to still access it on Facebook, on YouTube, so all the links will be there. But make sure you're there if you love art and fashion. This is a beautiful blend of the two coming together, and as you can see, there are 8 artists that are involved in this collaboration and in gallery exhibit. So you get to see many, many different styles. But back to Elena, because I think she wanted to demonstrate a beautiful collaboration.
I did, but since we're on the subject, it's okay. I love it. I love it all. So I just wanted to say that this is what we're painting on. So this is the guitar-shaped camera. This is the guitar-shaped bag, right? So I'm going to be painting this today, right? I'm going to be painting this today, and it's a crossbody bag, right? And so the designer of this, she contacted me and saying, I've heard a lot about you running events in the city for artists, and I always had a dream of artists painting on these bags. And I said, okay, let's do it, right? So it sounded incredible, and she's herself a very powerful businesswoman, you know, and so I said, okay, fantastic. Now, every artist that I spoke with, and there's some amazing artists, like we have Miss Evelyn Bailey, she's an award-winning artist, as I said, Miss Razaw Nadir, who's also a highly accomplished artist back in Iraq and Baghdad and back home, and so she's been #1, and she's a fashion designer herself, you know. Then we've got you know, some Judit Schönwald and Heather Hitte and all these incredible artists that are up and coming. And David DERKZ is actually a celebrity artist. So he just finished a huge mural for Vanilla Ice, and he's coming down to St. Catharines. So since we're on the subject of this event, I'm very excited, because I just said my whole thing is I can be there having my own exhibit, which I did, but I want to be able to give other artists the opportunity to showcase their stuff. And what better than collaborate with your peers, right? So speaking of going outside of your comfort zone, every artist was like, I've never painted. And we have some award-winning artists, and they were like, I've never painted on a bag before. How do I do it? So, you know, trying different things is so important.
It is important. And that actually leads me into my next question, because very often, and probably for much worse than for better, artists are afraid of competition sometimes, and having sort of other painters be chosen above them for commissions. It happens as in the dance world, as in the art world. But I find that a lot of the artists specifically you, find ways to yourself succeed and at the same time bring everybody else into a collaborative environment and succeed with others, and make sure you highlight the strength of all the other collaborators and painters that you have surrounding you. And I'm a big proponent of that as well. I feel the same way about any dancers coming together to beautifully create something. And so I guess this show is a perfect demonstration of that, because you have 8 fantastic artists coming to showcase their work all together, specifically with the fashion element. That's so neat. I've never heard of that before with the bag. That's really, really cool. So guys, make sure you're there on August 17th, St. Catharines. But here's my next question. How has building up others helped your brand? And most importantly, how has it fueled your inspiration to create?
I'm going to answer the second part of the question first. How has it fueled my inspiration to create? It's just, I was telling one of the artists today, unless you have a deadline or a timeline to be able to create something, if you're a part-time artist, like you have a family at home, or you have a job that you go to, or you have something, and unless you're doing this on a daily basis, there is no target that will keep you accountable to creating more and more. So definitely by having set dates and a show to work towards, I find myself creating more when there is something to create for, right? And then the second part of that is when you have other artists creating and doing things, that almost like lights a fire, where it's like, hey, and it's not a competition fire. It's like one of those things where it's like, I get inspired by others' creations, and I said, wow, I want to try something similar, but make it my own. I want to try, I've never thought of it this way, and that's the cradle of civilization and intellectuality. And, one idea, well, you need so many other people. That's how our world has been developed, through so many people coming together and putting their heads together. And it's constantly, you innovate, and as a result, it helps the society get better. And in this case, it helps the art continuously evolve. Right?
And I feel like it also strengthens the industry as a whole, right? Because the more
absolutely
like this, the more artists come together, the more paintings get sold. Like it strengthens the industry and the platform for artists to showcase.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's so the first part of the question is, how has building others helped my brand, right? So going back to your point of competition, I understand it. I've been in the business world for a long time, and I've been in that game for a long time. And I'm gonna get a little spiritual here, but we're transitioning into an entire new way of being, as an individual and as a collective overall. What do I mean by that? The old systematic, the old bureaucratic ways, the old paradigms of I'm better than you, my ego is blah, 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 me, look at me and how great I am. That, whichever companies have that, whichever organizations, corporations, small businesses, medium businesses, individuals, I don't care who it is, that is going to crumble in the next 5 to 10 years for sure. It's already starting, because people will only resonate with authenticity, with transparency, with heart-centered entrepreneurs, because we all are very smart as an individuals to be able to pick up on things like that where ego comes into play. Yeah. So the most important thing, I would say, right now in this day and age, for any entrepreneur that wants to innovate and succeed, is to come from a heart space and come from a space of collaboration and co-creation, because like you said, it only helps the industry, and it only helps it helps the individual. It has helped my brand tremendously, because it's like when you give without the expectation of receiving back in return. I could have easily done my own show and exhibit, but I said I want to help elevate others at the same time, and it's going to be more fun. So the thing is with art,
it's definitely going to be more fun. You nailed that point.
Listen, it's more fun. But the thing is with art, how can you compete? How can you compete as artists? Because art is in the eye of the beholder. And it doesn't matter whether you have 10 artists lined up and they're showing off things next to you, or that client that may potentially come in and buy your art, you're competing with, if you're talking competition, you're competing with the Walmarts and the Bouclairs and this Home Sense and all the artwork that's already like mass produced over there. So art, really, what I found works is when someone resonates with the story that the painting has to tell. When they resonate with the emotion. As artists, we're selling emotion. You know, when the individual resonates with that emotion and it speaks to them, they buy it. If it doesn't speak to them, it doesn't matter how cheap or expensive it is, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my answer to collaboration. I really believe that we will achieve more in co-creating together.
And guys, once again, just a reminder that we have this incredible event coming up on August 17th, and Elena is hosting it. It's organizing it. It's from 2 to 7 p.m. in St. Catharines. Check it out. There's going to be a lot of beautiful live music, beautiful paintings, a chance to speak to all these artists, the fashion show with the leather bags, which is incredibly exciting because that's such a new initiative. And I'm just going to give you guys a chance to actually win the raffle, because remember, you can ask Elena a question and actually—
I just want to say, can I just say, sorry, before you go there? So when we're talking about the show, the show is being held at Monty's Gastropub, which is a really, really beautiful venue where there's vegan foods being served and there's drinks. There's a beautiful patio, you know, so it's a family-friendly event. It's free to attend. And, you know, Princess of Sound guitar-shaped purses. The founder is going to be there. And she's going to be spinning. She's also a DJ, so she's going to be DJing live for us, and then there's going to be a band that comes in later. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things, including the charity that the event supports. So please do make a trip out and come see Niagara Falls. It's beautiful. It's only 15 minutes away from St. Catharines. You know, it's Princess of Sound guitar-shaped purses.
There you go, guys. I'm going to put a link below as well for everybody to be able to access it, but her work is also quite beautiful. So guys, once again, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to submit a question to Elena if you would like to ask her. I have one more question ready to go. But as we do in every episode that you guys are tuning in, speaking about collaboration, speaking about innovation, I wanted to take this moment to show a cute new show that we also have with Cool Cat, so that you guys are tuning in and you can see a little bit about what we do as well. So I'm going to take a quick minute to show you our question. All right, guys, and check this out.
Come, let's mix for Rockefellers, walk with sticks for umbrellas in their midst. Come in a pink, if they ain't got a sweet. It's a beautiful life, and the fact that it's like a chocolate side. I'm a certain baby, won't you swing it with me? I hope you tell me, lady, what a way it will be. As if I something like you have a day, I am true. You said, don't keep me waiting while I'm in the mood.
Ta-da! Okay, so that was a little bit of a new show that we have going, guys, as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that. But now, exciting to bring back Elena for her final question. Okay, this is great. Sorry, I had some feedback going there on the line. So speaking about artists, and whether it be dancers or whether it be visual artists or whether it be singers, anybody who's in the performing arts that is trying to showcase themselves, but it's a little bit nervous because they're just starting out. They don't know how they're going to be maybe perceived, if they're going to make it. So they have all these frightening feelings happening. What is your biggest recommendation for up-and-coming artists that are nervous to get themselves out there, and should they be?
One of my mentors said, if you're nervous, that means you're on the right path. So, you know, if they're nervous and they have butterflies, that means they're doing the right thing because they really care about what they're doing, right? So when it comes to, okay, get yourself out there as much as possible, align to people within your industry, find a mentor. And when you're selecting a mentor, be very discerning about who you listen to. It's who you listen to. Have they achieved what you want? Only learn from people that have what you want, or have what you're going towards. So because it's very easy to get sidetracked, especially with the overabundance of information and everyone being a coach these days. You know, so be discerning in who you listen to. Be coachable, be ready to learn, you know, throw everything out the window that you thought you knew about the industry of your choice, and really just learn and absorb. Participate in local events, if they're dance events, if they're you know, fashion events, if they're art events, if they're participate, just see what other people are doing. And I know you can be shy, and I know a lot of artists that are a little shy, and you know, I actually get them out of their comfort zone. And
you do.
I do, but just, you know, find people that your soul resonates, that you feel great after speaking to them. So a good for me, how I've built up a really small inner circle is using discernment of how I feel after the interaction with every single person, whether that be my friend or whether that be a colleague or whoever. If that energy, if I feel drained and tired after that, that means it's not the person. That means it doesn't have to do anything with that person. It just has to do with the point in life of which they're at, because we're all on a journey to self-improvement. So find a mentor. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded and supportive. Find groups within the community, within the industry of your choice, and just start creating. And don't be shy about aligning with people. Just create your own mastermind. Mentorship and mastermind are huge because you need to have people that are there to support you.
And I feel like what you said about actually
that would be my biggest recommendation, is get yourself out there.
That's incredible. And I like the main thing that you mentioned is get yourself out to events, get yourself out to different things that are happening around the city that resonate with what you're doing, because not only can you see something that inspires you, but you can also meet that somebody that's going to catalyze your growth, or that's going to catalyze your passion, maybe so even more opportunities, right? So, and I think a lot of times when people are shy to get out there, they expect that they're not going to be perceived in a certain way, but you just never know, right? And it's, if you don't go, then you're not going to know.
Well, let me just say it this way: people are always going to have an opinion about you. Doesn't matter. They're always going to have an opinion, you know. So if you just understand the fact that there will always be an opinion, the question is, you know, does the opinion of the individual who has it matter, you know? So
we have a question coming in from the audience, Elena, for you. So I'm going to just put this on the screen, and it is from Destinee. Who has been your mentor, guru, and why did they resonate with you the most?
I've had many mentors. Thank you, Destinee, for the question. I've had many mentors in my career, whether it be through my technology world, where it came, you know, we're in corporate, male and female mentors, and all of them along the way have made me stronger, made me better, made me sharper, some of them made my skin thicker, you know, and so I would say that the two people that stand out the most would be one, like I mentioned earlier, would be Mr. Byron Nelson, who's a self-made multimillionaire, somebody who made it, that was never really, all odds were against him to make it in the world of business. And he's an inspirational speaker and author, and a very powerful businessman who has a business all around 26 countries in the world. And so, that's one of my live mentors and one of my closest friends. I'm very grateful to him for being able to shift my mindset and continuously hold space for me and guide when I am misled in some ways. And the other mentor was Miss Evelyn Bailey, one of my, again, closest friends, and we've been working with her when it comes to art, and she's continuously innovating when it comes to art, and she's so powerful and really happy and energetic and very fun to be around. Just when we create together, and it's magic. It's magic that happens. She really says that art is the universal language. A world speaks different languages, but when you show a painting to someone who speaks Chinese and or I should say Mandarin or Cantonese and Diwali and is Diwali a language? Anyway, you Russian or German or whatever languages in the world, so you can show one painting and they'll understand exactly what's on that painting because it'll speak to their heart, you know. So she really taught me how to anchor my vision through painting. So, and outside of that, I read a lot of books when it comes to personal development, a lot of audios. So you could always consider those as mentors, but I'd say those two stand out.
Well, thank you, Destinee, for your question. So feel free to bug me for your raffle ticket, because for tuning in and asking a question, you do get a raffle ticket and a chance to win a painting. Exciting. So guys, we're going to wrap things up. It's been a pleasure, Linchik, having you on the show, sharing your thoughts, sharing your inspiration. And once again, I'm just—
It's my honor. Thank you.
It's honestly, I think it's important for people to hear, because oftentimes we just need that little bit of inspiration. And so guys, just to again pull up on the screen, this incredible event is happening on August 17th at Monty's Gastropub in St. Catharines. Here you go. That is Monty's Gastropub in St. Catharines. And one way that you can also reach Elena, if you'd like to get in touch with her, is actually on her Instagram, on her website, elenakulikovaartist.com. And I'm going to pull it up so you guys could see it a little bit better. Also on her Instagram, Elena Kulikova Artist. On her website, elenakulikovaartist.ca. And of course, you can reach her. Sorry, .com. .com. I apologize. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to make quick. Ta-da! You see, we all make mistakes, guys. Don't be afraid. .com. And you can reach her by phone as well. So once again, Elena, thank you. We will see you on August 17th at Monty's Gastropub. And guys, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.